To talk about newness, we need to remember what is already known, existing, and unique. In this tool, we now talk about cost components and cost centers. The cost components represent the monetary value attributed to each activity or its resources, and the cost center represents the reflection of these components in its composition, history, updating, or evolution dynamics. Here we have a project with 9 activities. There are 9, and each of these activities was assigned a cost component, which represents the monetary value assigned to each one so that they can happen. In Activity 1, we have 1,000 monetary units of the dollar component. In Activity 1, we have 5,500,000 monetary units of kwanzas, which is the currency used in Angola. And the cost component reflects the unit cost center in its variations in evolution dynamics. Here, in this case, $1,000 is equivalent to $1,000 in the center. 5,500,000 kwanzas represent 5,500,000 kwanzas. If we want to understand this, we need to analyze the cost components. Cost component, showing dollar. The dollar is worth 550 kwanzas, that is, the currency exchange rate. And here we have the information that the dollar is 550 kwanzas. The kwanza is a monetary unit, that is, the dollar is equivalent to 550 kwanzas, with the kwanza being the reference here. We also put the real here, but we can see the component and we can also see the cost center. The cost center itself represents a dollar component. The dollar participates in this component. The cost center, kwanza, owns kwanza. And the complete center, unifying all costs, I brought together dollars in kwanza. Remembering that these monetary units have references and relationships between them. What we are seeing here in this view is the value in dollars, the value in kwanza, and the value in kwanza total in kwanza currency and dollar currency. The graph here shows the evolution of the disbursement curve, the S-curve, in the 3 monetary elements. Dollar, kwanza, and the complete set. All of this here being observed in the kwanza coin reference. When we go to the cost centers, we can see that dollar set, kwanza set, and dollar set. We have the component and we have the cost center. And they are the same because there is no anomaly, variation, there is no periodicity, there is no temporal change or change in the allocation of currencies, of monetary units. When we see the last layout, we can see variation when we cause this variation. In this layout we have how much is spent in dollars, how much is spent in kwanta, and in the graphs we see the dollar cost of the cost center and component. The objective of this is to show that what already existed is now giving way to something new, to the news of our Spider project. We can see here that there is now the possibility of the cost component having a different operating period. So let's look at the project and let's look at the cost component period. The dollar, which is our study objective, has a variation between this period and this period. It has a daily variation of 1%. So, in this case, it will be 10%. 10% happening daily on the previous value. The dollar is then no longer constant. It starts to change its reference, becoming larger daily by around 10%. Using it in the calculation, the result of financial projections will be different. I already have a baseline, so I can compare it with this change we made now. And the new thing is there, it is possible to assign periods of variation and periodic variations. When I ask to calculate, we have the baseline in light blue, and the variation in the cost center in dark blue. Looking here we have the value of 9,000, but the currency varies, and here we will have the variation reflected in the cost center. And where is that? Show column, call center, dollar. There is a difference here. 9,000 now equals 10,088.
Na moeda?
In currency, how much? How much? So we can see that the new resource, set by the period of the cost component, allows us to introduce periodic variations or increases. In this case, it will be worth 800 kwanza between December 1st and December 31st. The result of this is different, not applied, and there will be an increase to 800, then the increase will disappear in 31 of 12. It returns to the normal value. Here you can see the difference. Here you can see the difference happens the light blue baseline and the line nova dark blue, which shows that there was an increase due to the increase in the value of the dollar during this period. So the new thing is that in addition to the multiple currencies that can be used in the model, now the variation in the cost component can be set up due to an increase in period or percentage increase, percentage of period, or it can even be a periodic increase from one date to another date, at a percentage of 10 per day, or per week, or per month. This new feature allows you to enrich the model and make it increasingly closer to reality, practice or the professional's needs.